Even politicians have to take their break, and I'm enjoying my Minecraft while I'm not looking at the political world, and there's nothing crazy and gacha going on, so I can just chillin'. Those zombies are spawning right there. I'm gonna have to kill them later. Oh, wait, what? Yo, I got a notification on my phone. What? Uh, Inkfeld slash Bendy slash Embodiment of Karma slash. Oh my goodness, that guy has a lot of names. What do you do? Oh, 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 God, oh, oh. Yeah, you thought I was about to spit that out, didn't you? I was going to, but then I realized I don't want to hit my plushies. So, no.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
You know what, this is cringe. My bad. I'm not iDubbbz. I'm sorry.
I feel like it was worth mentioning his content. Because, well, before we get into, like, the real serious stuff, that, let's be real here, if you've seen backattacks video, which will be in the description, or read the document, which is also in the description, you already know what we're talking about, which feel free to read over that stuff while we're here. Not gonna lie, this content's kind of atrocious. Oh my gosh, what? Whoa, 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 hey, 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 oh, oh. Why? Oh, no, oh, 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 oh. Okay, you know what? This is cringe. I don't like it at all. You know what? We're getting off of this. The content's that. So now let's actually get into the actual stuff. I don't really know how to put that. Let's just actually get into the stuff. I'm just gonna go over to the back attack thing. All right, so tell me what I'm looking at.
These are individual files of everything that transpired in between this current investigation. All of these are focused on on Inkfell and his ties to the NSFW server where he was acting sexually with a 16-year-old. If you want to go down the list, I will talk you through every single one individually and give you a brief explanation.
Alrighty.
Cosmic and Inkfell. Cosmic is a miner who he reached out to me actually in my YouTube comments on and all, saying how he was friends with Inkfell and saw my video, and he wanted to give me some details about it and also a potential other lead because he was he actually like watched the entire video, and that means he came to the natural conclusion that Inkfell did is a pedophile, and he did lead me down a lead which I did investigate for a little bit, but that didn't really go anywhere, so you won't find much of that in these folders here, if at all. But once I did get a lead when a wizard like reached out to me, I used him to help get access into the server and collect all of this data. So if it wasn't for Cosmic, then this investigation would not have happened. This first bunch of screenshots here. This is where Cosmic asks if there are any other people his age inside of the NSFW server, and Inkfell straight up says yes, because if you check the other file before this, you will see that Cosmic tells Inkfell that he is 16, and despite being underage, Inkfell does give Cosmic an invite to the porn server, which is obviously already fucking bad.
The sad part is I like that cat image. Wait a minute, is that cat doing what is that cat doing? Why is he holding up his arm?
Cosmic asks for the specific porn server. Inkfell says right there that it is an 18 plus server, and then Inkfell, if you want to go down the slides, he gives him an invite anyway.
Yeah.
Also, same as my alt account. He says that it's 18 plus. He knows that Cosmic is underage, and he gives him a link anyway. These are my DMs with Puff, the initial DMs, where he reached out to me after a wizard reached out to me for a bit. He spoke to me about
Isn't he the
yeah,
guy
he is
that
the
tried
guy.
doxing you?
Yeah, he is the guy. If you go down, you'll see like the sudden like a 180 he does, where he's like a threat to me. Though I would like to say that also, and that's how I found out about the owner of like the NSFW server. That profile picture is really funny. I don't know why. Yeah, and then
Oh,
he,
God.
he had a power level moment. I do want to say, like, for the context of Damon's video here, and also I mentioned this in mine. He has come back and reached out to me and apologized for this, and has even helped me by giving my first info video like a shout out. So I do want to say a thank you for acknowledging a mistake, but for the sake of not sugarcoating anything and make sure there's a proper timeline of events, I wanted to include this because it's important. Next is DMs with vocal pause. This does,
What?
yeah, like,
Aftermath
yeah, we'll
threatening.
start with like threatening first. Yeah, this isn't really anything to do with like the server, but I just wanted to show this off that this is typically how people handle. Like, this is how Kalma's friends typically react to my video. They don't talk about facts. They don't try and offer a defense. They just try and threaten me like over and over again. So this took place the day after he found out he got banned from the Gacha Life 2 server.
And he just wanted to get unbanned,
And it's yeah.
Bro was actually crashing out over a Discord moderators banning him from a Gacha Life 2 server, bro. What is this? What does this world come to? If this is what.
Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities or influencers.
Because like he's gonna be something he might not want to hear, but being friends with a pedophile, knowing they are a pedophile, does not endear you to anybody, especially to the moderators of a Discord server full of minors.
Exactly.
Like he picked a bed of nails, and now he's complaining when he starts to toss and turn too much. Like he can go fuck himself.
You know that's like committing tax evasion and then complaining where we get arrested, bruh. Which IRS, if you're seeing this, please don't arrest me.
Why did that guy I stabbed start stabbing me back? What the hell, Tina? This is the owner of the NSFW server, and
Oh, I can tell. I can tell by the profile picture. Dang.
yeah, when you saw her profile picture like earlier as well, it wasn't really much better. I mostly wanted to show this off because A, she does confirm that is her server. That's the same one that Inkfell invited Cosmic to.
Mm-hmm.
And then she asked for evidence of like all that information, and then she she blocks me right then and there. So she knows what's going on, and she chose not to do like anything about it.
Eh, sounds about
And
right.
if she really is 18, as she says, I know Puff said that. Puff did say that she was underage, but Lay said that he doesn't actually know.
But like, at the same,
But
I
if
mean,
she is
this.
like 18 and she's letting this slide, then that's really bad on her. So that's why I included that.
But like at the same time, like this is like she is a Discord owner, so I mean, like it seems pretty par for the course. Oh,
Right.
oh, oh. Okay,
Yeah, this is
Chief.
the main guy. So there might be one screenshot missing from this, but I'm not too sure. But pretty much, he is the one who reached out to me and pretty much gave me the information I needed to make this entire second investigation. He is the one who told me that he was in in the server with Inkfell and how he was and how he was underage and that they were doing ELP together. And that's when I started, and this is when I made like the group chat with like you and Rick, and that's when I started to catalog all of this evidence
Yeah.
because I knew I had to talk about it. Of course,
It's
he asked me a bunch of questions about it, which of course I'm able to answer because
yeah.
obviously,
Honestly, it's just crazy how many screenshots I just saw. Like I haven't really like reviewed all of these ones in this folder. I'm kind of like reading through them briefly right this second, but like it's just it's
yeah, it's
insane
a lot.
how
Yeah, also
like
he talks a lot as well. That a screenshot you can't really read, but I'll either be putting it up in like in my video or it's already in the folder, though I don't think it is. That screenshot is where a wizard tells Bendy, yeah, like that's him talking to Bendy at the same time that he's talking to me, as you can tell. Like he like the time period is like that day, but it's separated by 3 hours because he's on the East Coast, like on the East Coast somewhere.
Bendy didn't know, bro. That's insane.
Bendy claiming that he forgot that he was 16 does not matter because he's still ERP'd with Wizard after this conversation took place.
I, I think
So
he.
he
I
knew
think.
he was go
I
on.
think I think he knew beforehand. He was saying that to get out of the conversation initially.
Yeah, but also yeah, I believe that too. But it's definitely bad because he still ERP'd with Wizard afterwards, and two, if you remember earlier, he told Cosmic that Wizard was 16 and was in the server, so he knows full well, and still did it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad I was able to just fucking root that shit out immediately. All right.
Feels like I'm having a panic attack because of this. But I want you to know that I've been telling you nothing but the truth about everything I said because I am totally not a manipulator, guys. All of it was the truth. None of it was lies. Mason and I did make amends that day and we forgave each other. That should have been the end of it. She admitted that she did was wrong and she shouldn't have started the ERP out of nowhere, and that she shouldn't have done all the Gacha NSFW of me and Faz, and that she should have.
Talk too much.
Yeah, this is the biggest one.
Vent.
You don't really need to go over all of this, but I will say this is a pretty much Info. Info would make a post in the NSFW server every single time I made a post or a video or reached out to one of his friends or like anything like that. And I wanted to showcase it here because every single time, like every single defense he has is not really a defense. It's he eventually just goes to like a trauma dumping and trying to like be like emotional and shit. Like
All right. Next up, last segment before I make my conclusion, I promise. I'm gonna do an interview with Rick because Rick has a huge role in the drama overall between Karma, Back Attack. It's crazy. So I'm gonna interview Rick because he has personal experience with all of this, and I feel like it's worth noting. All of this can be proven and backed up with a lot of statements in Back Attack's videos himself, which you can go to Back Attack's channel for, and yeah. So I have a few questions, but I'll let you kind of retell the story overall.
Sure.
This is start off with a subtle, probably short thing. How did like your interactions with Bendy go? Like, is this a short summary of like your history of him?
Well, I didn't really know him much. I mostly knew him through Bell, which was someone that he was in a relationship with, and who I just knew as a friend, and that's how we were acquainted with each other. I didn't really DM them. I only DM'd them with if their status was like, I guess you could say like sad, or if like shit was happening, and I just wanted to confront them on it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I didn't really talk to him that much or interacted with him that much. But I did know him through servers that I was on, mostly one, but
And how did like you get so invested into Back Attack's drama with him?
well, I got invested because Belle brought me into a call for some reason, which I scolded her for afterwards. When Back Attack and when Benji, Back Attack, and Bell were in a call about Hornet, even though Bell and Bendy didn't speak and Back Attack was the only one speaking. This was before I knew Back Attack, so and it was also late for me, so I didn't really care. I left very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got, I guess you could say, invested. And then I got mostly invested because this now had to do with Bendy now, which is someone that I knew who was someone I knew, so of course I would make sure to follow it.
What was like the final nail that like made you like go Team Back Attack though?
I guess you can say, because I was in the middle for most of the time. Most people, Back Attack can tell you that I was very like hesitant to actually like give him to like aid him or like do anything he asks. Like there were a lot of times where I said no, no, like like it wouldn't be like anything to where I was like a. But there was one time when after the Bell and but I would comment on Back Attack's videos, basically on my opinion, because Bendy didn't show any evidence, which I was annoyed with, which is what made me comment on Back Attack's videos. But what I guess the final nail in the coffin was the fact that one day, I was branded for some reason as a quote unquote traitor right after a few days that Bell and Back Attack had a private conversation in DMs. And that day, when I woke up and looked at my phone, Bendy was having a meltdown about like Bell blocking him, and I didn't know. I got a message from someone, saying like, a mutual friend, and saying like, "Hey, do you know why Bell blocked Bendy?" I told them, no, I don't know. I'm just as confused as you. And then I was blocked, and I get like a few messages from, we're gonna call them Liz because that's what I'm saying that saying I'm a traitor, and a few messages from other people. Well, one person mostly confirming it, of like showing me a screenshot of Belle saying that I'm the one that's basically going to tell Back Attack if they're friended to um, Bendy or not, which was very confusing to me. When I tried to confront Belle on this, I was immediately I was blocked after a few days, but apparently that wasn't the reason why. It was because shit was going on in other things. So yeah, still haven't forgiven them for that because I'm still relatively annoyed that I was just that, because it's ironic because her description says that she'll fiercely protect her friends, but when I was against the when I had no one in my corner, it sure as hell wasn't Bell. There are people in I guess you could say that know Bendy that still are my friends. They know who they are, and they are real friends. They are the real ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy being called a traitor. I remember Liz said like she hopes I suffer. She said that Backattack wasn't my friend, and then when I said and you are, let's keep in mind when I was a moderator on the server that I got banned from my perspective, but no one did anything. In fact, Bendy mostly caused shit to happen, even though he was a moderator, which is ironic. But Liz also refer blocked me and would repeatedly wouldn't respond to DMs. She would repeatedly be rude to me in the server. So it was funny that she said that a back attack wasn't my friend, even though she was awfully rude most of the times to me. So yeah, I guess the final nail of the coffin would be like when I got banned, because at that point, if I'm banned, then there's really nothing that would stop me from helping back attack.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's funny? I think last year I was allowed to rejoin the old server. It has a different name than it does now, but rejoin the old server. And then Liz realized this. She changed my username to Trader. She made it so I couldn't change it. She told someone who was a mutual friend. She told someone apparently that she was gonna make my life a living hell, even though the dumbass, for some odd reason, then decided to ban me or kick me. So, and if I stayed in that server and if they didn't do that to me, then I probably wouldn't have been part of this video. I wouldn't have joined in this second part. Well, not really join. I guess you could be a spectator of it.
Yeah. But again, but now I have to ask, what has you invested this time around?
Well, mostly because there's no evidence proving the contrary about Attack's claims being false, and it just keeps on stacking up against him, and he just keeps on him, and I guess you can say people that try to defend him just make it look worse, which is quite impressive if you think about it. Like, you can only go so far before, like, you would think by some miracle, like, even by accident, they would make themselves look good. But no, just repeatedly screwing off.
Yeah.
And I mostly want to prove that I was right to be skeptical in the very beginning. Like, Because you ain't gonna call me a traitor. You ain't going to lie about me and then say apologies and then expect me to not try to prove that I was 100% in the right. Because so far they haven't proven that I'm not. For being skeptical, for following the evidence.
That is 100. Okay, so that is fair.
I also do remember one time. I'm sorry. One time I did ask Bell for evidence to support that. Give me a minute. I want to look for the screenshot. Wait. They tried to show me when I said or when they said that they had proof that that Bendy was innocent. Or Bendy didn't do anything. They just showed the same screenshots that Backattack basically proved that it proves that Bendy was guilty.
Dang.
Which I don't. Which were the initial comments that started all of this. So they have nothing. Recently, Bell made a community post about how there's a bunch of noise in the background. She made a community post that she was really proud, talking proudly about the law. And then when I commented on her post, basically telling her you're getting it wrong, she then ended up, I think, blocking my comments, so you can't see it. Only I can see it. I'm gonna send it to you right now. What I've wrote down. I also don't trust Bendy because he's very emotionally manipulative to people. If you looked in his dreams, you would see that he can't. Mostly it's because he doesn't. Nothing's ever his fault. It's always something else. This is lies. Oh, this wasn't me. This is someone else. Oh, this wasn't me doing this. This was an alternate factor. It's never his fault. He refuses to admit accountability, but if you ask him privately, he took full accountability, even though he deleted whatever was supposed to be quote-unquote accountability, which means he didn't take any accountability because now there's no proof of it. And by the way, Bell, if you're listening to this, your post is completely makes completely no sense, which is why you had to basically block my comments that you had with me because you tried to counter it and you failed. Because that's why you had to block it. It wasn't mindless hate. I was clearly countering your points and disproving them. And you blocked them because you couldn't disprove what I was saying. Yeah, unlike Backattacks goal, my goal isn't to technically get rid of Bendy's channel. If that happens, then great. If he's never on YouTube again. But my goal is mostly that whenever someone looks at his videos or recognizes his videos or his channel, they be like, "Who is this guy? I think I seen. Oh yeah, this was the guy that was proven to be very manipulative." Because if you look at Backattack streams, you can see that he uses very manipulative language.
True.
You can see someone who refuses to take any accountability. And the second you stop being on his side, he will talk behind your back and acted like you were a complete shithead, even though that you weren't.
All right. I'm
Be
gonna.
careful. Be careful, Damon. You're his type.
Oh no.
I had to squeeze in one of those jokes, man. Be
Rick,
careful.
Rick. I think I need to flee to Guatemala. I think that might be closer to him. Oh, dang it. All right.
I thought you were gonna say you needed an adult. Then I would have countered with that. I would have countered.
But yeah,
Alright.
I'm gonna end the interview here. But thank you for your
Alright.
time for that.
No problem.
All right, let's have a look at this conversation. To be fair, you know what? Also, another fun fact: in the context where it happened, unless otherwise stated by the individual involved, consent is automatically given to someone when someone decides to join a roleplay. As stated in the law itself, don't believe me either on these. Then look them up. You'll be pleasantly surprised on what you find. And no, age does not play a fact. That's a lie. I think we can all prove that's a lie. Hey Rick, my boy, can you like just prove that for me? Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. I mean, it doesn't undermine any of backattacks' points because it still doesn't disprove any points, and Gacha does count when you decide to ERP or RP as yourself and a minor can't give consent. And Bendy was aware of the same of the member of the member were minors, so it does play a factor, and Gacha Life is not considered a roleplay tool under the law. If that was true, and there were minors, then they should have not had access to the explicit channel. No, duh, but they didn't, and you didn't care, and neither did Bendy, little butt. This is like a Reddit mod trying to make these points and getting absolutely shattered by my goat, Rick. I love you, Rick. Well, you get a lot of things wrong, since sending images of yourself is just going to raise the charges, and Gacha is not considered a roleplay tool, but defined as gambling. Unfortunately true, I do have an issue.
Husband says, you want a whole bunch of money? Oh, I didn't do too badly. How much you win? About $250,000.
You won $250,000.
Yeah.
I mean, the person who was 14 at the time, and he did make inappropriate comments and remarks, but he did edit all the comments after the fact to make him look like he didn't do anything. And yes, it is the adult's responsibility and the fault that they decide to engage with the minor in an inappropriate way, and 16 is still considered a minor. So they can't consent to this stuff, especially when the other person is an adult and should know better. And if they were truly uncomfortable, they would have blocked them immediately instead of just editing every message after the fact, and makes it look like he didn't. I mean, Rick is just spitting facts out here, because Rick is my goat. I love Rick. Hopefully this doesn't have to be too long of a segment. I just wanted to bring this up. Bell had another crash out, and so Bell had a crash out with Rick, and yeah, especially since every video he is in, he is not once asked for permission. Not after posting, after we said no, he preaches about consent and all that. Then he goes around and makes his stuff without consent. Well, I mean, if you're the person doing stuff, then why does he need your consent? Do you really think that, you know, P. Diddy would be giving people consent for people to talk about those files? I don't think so. In conclusion, well, karma /ink/ whatever you want me to call you. Hands up. Yeah, I'm cuffing you. It's not like these are headphones. Yeah, put your hands in here like this, and seriously, liking children, sexting all these kids while you're 21, I want to say. You are definitely old. You're definitely a lot older than them. And this is the same age Starfire was, actually, whenever he did stuff with I'm redacting that name, obviously. We're not keeping that name in there. but he did stuff with that person. And the same age. This is the same age. Same thing, bro. Like, what the heck? What is it about being 21 going after a 16-year-old girl? Okay. No, you're not. No, you're not. And bear in mind, you went after a 14-year-old last time. Now you're the 16-year-old. Okay. Bro, why are you going after kids like that? This is the exact same thing Dark Viral Dude did, bro. Alright. So, with that being said, let's go make an arrest, boys.
Imposter! You stole my babies.
They know who their real daddy is.
Drone napper? Magnificent creations, my boy. I borrowed them to lure you here and reunite our family. You see, I'm your grandfather, Gerald Robotnik.
My grandfather? But how? And why? And who did what with whom?
You hail from an ancestry of excellence, tied directly à moi. Yes, I know French.
You do look like me, but fatter and older. And there's that funny smell. But the resemblance is uncanny. It's as if we're two characters in a movie being played by the same actor.